Now, as you guys know, the next Dokkan Fest coming to JP is Android 21. That has been confirmed. Furthermore, as you guys will probably already know, Android 21 has been confirmed for global. This could be some very good news, which I'm going to discuss in a second. But first, I want to quickly mention a side point. The side point is this Android 21 unit. Firstly, I'm skipping her, but if you summon, hypothetically, and if you manage to pull her, do not waste Elder Kai's. This unit is farmable with her SA, with a free-to-play unit. So she is farmable. Do not waste Elder Kai's. That is the first point that I want to make. Now back to the main point. The main point is the fact that she's already confirmed to be coming to global at the same time is very good news. Why is that good news? Because that could be an indication that global is going to be catching up to JP quicker than we think. The boy Minato also makes a point. The point that he makes is that on 21's banner, Trunks should return, and then on the Part 2 LR banner, Omega Shinron should return. And if that is the case, what if, and stay with me here, what if both of these units also be on Global's banner? Now you might say, wait a minute, why would they be on Global's banner? Surely they would replace Trunks, and that is probably what will happen. But stay with me for a second. What if Trunks debuts on 21's banner on Global? And that would be the first major indication that Global is catching up much sooner than we think, potentially for the New Year celebration or the anniversary. And then Omega Shinron would debut on the Part 2 banner. If that happens, this would be one of the most hype moments in the history of this game. Now what I will say is, even if Trunks is on the banner on Global, even if Omega Shinron debuts on Global, even if there's discounts on top of that on 21's banner, I'm still skipping. I am skipping no matter what. There is nothing that Dokkan could do that would tempt me to summon on Android 21's banner. Maybe she'll be super busted and I'll want her, but even then, I would wait for her return. Honestly, I don't think there's anything Dokkan could do that would tempt me to summon. I think I am guaranteed to skip this banner, and whether or not I recommend other people skip 21 will depend on the banner and would also depend on how good she is and things like that. But for now, let's move on. It would be good news if Global celebrates the anniversary at the same time, but we'll see what happens. Minato makes another point. The other point that he makes is, it appears as though Android 21 is gonna be more of an offensive unit, and if that is the case, that's gonna be disappointing. I mean, maybe she'll be super good and she'll be super offensive, but by the sounds of it, it doesn't seem like they're gonna focus on her defense, and more so they are gonna focus on her offense. And if they do that, that's gonna be a bit of a major L for this 21. But the thing is, I don't care, because I'm skipping her anyway. I'm not hyped for this. I'm not hyped for this, but I'm not hyped for it either, if that makes sense. I just don't care about 21. So yeah, I'm skipping. I don't care if she's good or bad, I'm skipping. The only thing that could tempt me is if she's the best unit in the game, but I highly doubt they would do that. Because even if they put some good units on the banner, I would still skip. Because for example, if they put God Goku there, I've already got him. Piccolo Jr., Tech Goku, I've got all three of them. And there's no one else they could put on the banner that would tempt me to summon. So I'm pretty much guaranteed to summon. The boy Living Ichigo also makes a point. What he says is, what if this LR, the triple androids EZA, and I would be down, because this would not only come to JP, but it would also come to global, since it's a global same time celebration. So I mean, if this unit EZAs, I'm down. I've got this unit rainbowed and then some, so I am ready for their EZA, and I hope they are good. Speaking of good units, let's talk about a bad one. I am not a fan of this tower. The boy Joe Saiyan is saying that Int Tower can be good if you force her to look good, but I don't know. On her best turn, if you really try your best to make her look good, sure, then any unit can look good, but for the most part anyway. But the point is, I'm just not a fan of this tower. She's just not good enough. Because she's only got a 50% chance to dodge, her defense is way too low. She should have 600k defense as a minimum. That's without support, without nothing. Her start of turn defense should be 600k. And then she would actually be quite capable. But the fact that it's like 200, 300k most of the time. Like, she's just not good enough for a unit that only has a 50% chance to dodge. She's not bad, but I'm not that big of a fan. And the truth also seems to, as time goes on, he is also saying that he's also not a fan of this unit, which I've been saying that all along after I actually used this unit and saw some gameplay. But speaking of bad things, this red zone stage has been very unimpressive. It's very not difficult. They should have made it more difficult. Allowing us to seal the enemy made it too easy, and even if you couldn't seal the enemy, it would still be too easy. So they did not cook with this red zone stage, unfortunately. Speaking of things that Dokkan did not cook with, this Vegeta was not cooked very well. He's not that guy. He's okay for SPR and things like that, but outside of that, for a red zone stage or something like that, this guy will get annihilated. He won't even tank normal, so I'm not a fan of this Vegeta, just like I'm not a fan of the Super Saiyan 4 Brolys. Unfortunately, they got shafted. But these two units here were very good. The point that this person is making is that, like, these units, like, their rates were way too high because everyone just kept pulling them. Well, with Janemba, I didn't even rainbow him in 1500 stones. I did get 3 dupes though, but with Cooler, yeah, I did keep pulling him again and again and again. I pulled him 10 times. I could rainbow his TUR and the SSR, but a unit that I pulled even more than him was Vegeta, unfortunately. I pulled Vegeta 12 times. 12, 1, 2 in 1500 Dragon Stones. I only pulled 1 dupe in my Rose, but I pulled 12 of this guy. And not only did I pull 12 of this guy, I pulled 12 Brolys, which was very unfortunate. But at least these two are good. Obviously Broly and Vegeta are not that good, but these two are very impressive from what I've seen. Air Dokkan was giving his predictions for the next Dokkan Fest, but obviously Android 21 is confirmed at this point, although I wouldn't mind any of these. 13, Lord Slug, Torpo or Frieza, I would not mind any of them if they are the next Dokkan Fest. Here is a quick heroes tier list. Let's quickly go through this and then we'll move on. Super Saiyan 4 Vegito Limit Breaker is in his own tier. I like that. The only criticism I've got about this tier list is that Towa and Pan are too high. Gohan, I would argue, is better than them. Super Saiyan 3 Goku is better than them. Janemba, Cooler are better than them. And then Robel, maybe in the same tier as them. But certainly Pan and Towa are too high on this list. Is there anyone that's too low? No one that pops out to me immediately. Maybe Black Master Saiyan is a bit too high. Maybe he should be moved 1 down. God Trunks when he EZAs next year could be interesting. But we'll see where it goes. Baby Janemba can probably be moved up a little bit because of the dodge, but aside from that, I don't have anything to criticize too much. Actually, Great Saiyaman 3 should definitely be moved up. I think he's being underrated, and Baby Janemba is being underrated, but for the most part, it doesn't really matter. I do appreciate the fact that Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta Limit Breaker is in his own tier, which is very true. Show me only your Beast Gohan summons from any game. Beast Gohan is still not in Dokkan. Oh, boo, look, why did you have to remind me that he's not in Dokkan? It's not fair. Anyway, who's more fun to use? Vegito or the GT Duo? I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna have to go with Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. Now, to be fair, there is a recency bias. I will say that, and furthermore, he was a global same time celebration, whereas we had to wait 6 months for the GT Duo. But I'm gonna have to go with Vegito. He is very fun. He's simple and fun, which is what I like. OP, fun, simple, you love to see it. As time passes, I feel like he is the best designed unit that released this year. He's certainly in that conversation. I'm not gonna lie, Piccolo Jr. I would probably put above him. Actually, I would definitely put Piccolo Jr. above him in terms of design. One of the main reasons for that is because Piccolo Jr. is that guy without any dodge, damage reduction or guard. But for the most part, Vegito is definitely in the conversation for one of the best designed units of the year. I can't really argue with that. Stop. If you're reading this, give your favourite Pokemon. My personal favourite Pokemon, as you guys know, is Rayquaza. Arbuluk put Greninja and Potato put Infernip. Infernip and Greninja are easily some of my favourites as well. My number 1 is Rayquaza, but Greninja and Infernip are really high on my list. I'm a big fan of both of these Pokemon. Both of them are really cool. So let's move on, and we're going to end with this. What if I said, if Vegito didn't have any restrictions, then he would be the best, or at least a top 3 unit in the game? Honestly, I would be inclined to agree. If this Vegito didn't have any restrictions, he would easily be in the conversation for a top 3 unit in the game. Obviously, he does have the restrictions, so he's not top 3. But if he didn't, then he would potentially be top 3. And I'm gonna have to agree with that. Let's do a quick subscriber challenge. If you guys agree with me and you agree with Platy that Vegito would be in the conversation for a top 3 unit in the game if he did not have any restrictions, then you have to subscribe, because that is the challenge. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, then do subscribe, especially if you just failed that challenge, because that is indeed the challenge. Also, do leave a like and comment, because those things do help out. With that said, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Ta-ta, adios, and bye-bye.